thought I would give an update, just my thoughts on what's going on and where we're at with things. And okay, don't mind this. We haven't unpacked our office at all. Just make a bed. Yep. Just lay down and make bed. We already have children. Tomorrow we're going back to the fertility doctor. We're getting results for the blood work and possibly like signing paperwork to ship sperm to the office. So see. The sperm donor thing has been hard. It's been way harder than I thought it would be. It's important to us that like this child will feel like and, you know, maybe look like a combination of the both of us. And I know that it's obviously not happening that way scientifically. The reality is that this child is not going to be a biological combination of the two of us, which is kind of in and of itself like a hard thing to deal with. I thought was like, okay, we find a half black donor and combined with me, that's like a combination of the two of us. That's great. Well, it's been very hard to find a half black donor. Surprisingly hard to find. And when we have found a few, like they have very low stock of their stuff. And, you know, if we wanted our children to be biologically connected, we have to plan for that now. We have to buy sperm for that now. Let alone factoring in like how many times it will take to conceive this child. And then factoring in possible future children, which is like a crazy thing to have to think about so far in advance. So it's been kind of discouraging. I'm not sure how much more else I want to go, how much more I want to go into it, because it's also such like a private thing. And I am not a private person. I don't consider myself like, if somebody asks me a question or they want to know about my life, I'm more than happy to share. But for some reason, I mean, I guess it is a private thing, and like it is something between Sean and I. So I would go more into detail about like, you know, like description, I guess, about the person that we're looking at. But for some reason I'm like hesitant to do that. I guess I don't want other people to look at my child and forever be like comparing it to the donor. Because yes, they're going to be connected to the donor and there are going to be features like, but I don't want like that, like family members or friends or strangers to know what to look for, I guess. I don't know. It's such a weird thing. Feeling really discouraged. We have scoured the internet. I mean, I have looked at every cryobank that, even international ones, Canadian ones, European ones that don't ship to the US because of FDA regulations, half dozen of them in the United States, and there are not half black, half white. And the white portion, like how they're white, like where their whiteness is from, where their blackness is from, is not something that we're even getting nitty gritty on. And we still cannot find somebody, and it's very discouraging. I also, you know, as I was doing research, I would kind of spiral into like an internet search of cryobanks and came across like some horror stories of donors not being who they say they are possible genetic conditions being passed on that can't be tested for, like mental illness things. You know, there's a very big story about a local cryobank that's also like a huge cryobank. And it just kind of freaks me out. And these things could happen even with a known donor, because sometimes illness doesn't present itself until later in life. So there isn't a way to actually report it until later. I mean, you don't know if this history is being updated or anything like that. And that is nerve-wracking. At the same time, we're getting more medical history from a stranger than we would ever get from just a partner that we met on the street. Like, it's probably unlikely that like a straight couple that I know, like a random straight couple, would know like generational medical history before having a child with this person, or some genetic testing that's done already. So like in some ways it's comforting, in some ways it's not. It's also very bizarre to think that like this child will have half siblings, and potentially a lot of half siblings. Like, things like this aren't regulated. The industry there is flaws, you know, and pregnancies do not have to be reported. So like somebody could have hundreds of spawn from this donor, and typically, I mean, that doesn't matter necessarily, other than like if there are thousands of gay couples, let's say, or just couples in general using donor eggs and sperm, whatever, mostly sperm, I guess, because there's multiple of them, then there's a potential for like 2 donor babies, like donor conceived children, growing up and marrying each other and creating incest, like incest situations that would create genetic mutations. And like, we're entering into this weird time that this is a possibility, and like maybe it hasn't been thought of to the extent that it's being used now. So it's just interesting. It doesn't stop me from doing it this way. I still feel comfortable. I still feel like this is the right decision. But it's just crazy how these questions, like, it makes my eye twitch. I'm like getting a headache just thinking about it, because these questions have to come up. Like, these questions come up in a case where in a straight couple, you do not ask yourself this, like, to this extent at least. And so it's just crazy. It's just crazy times, you know? And yeah, I'm an overthinker, so I just let it fester, and I think about it a lot. And so I don't know. I went to the gyno. I needed to go to the gyno to just get a regular checkup. Overall, looking pretty good. Anyway, I have so much footage to edit from our Europe trip, so I can't really like add multiple gigs of talking to this card, because I have 50 gigabytes to go through, which is like 7 hours of footage from Europe. So I hope you guys are interested in seeing that trip. And also our DNA results came in from 23andMe, so that video will be up too. Thanks for watching. I'm really enjoying doing this, and I'm learning a lot, and I hope other people enjoy it too. All right, we'll see you later. Bye. I'm like the worst at taking pills, so I get a little bit nauseous if I don't eat something before I take it. Ooh, I might eat this. Okay, so I wanted to fill everybody in on the appointment yesterday and kind of what the plan is going forward. Let me try to take this. God. Horse pill. Okay, yesterday we had another appointment at the fertility clinic. It went really well. It was mostly just to get the results of the blood work. Blood work looks really good. The only concern that they had was that I was not, when they tested if I was immune to rubella, I was not immune to it, which would not necessarily be a concern for me, but for a fetus, it could cause birth defects if I caught it while I was pregnant, or I was around somebody who had it while pregnant. So I have to get a rubella vaccine, and I have to wait 30 days before I can start trying to conceive. The plan would be that I'm about to start my cycle right now. So next cycle, I would let them know when cycle day 1 is. I think on day 2 or 3, we would do a scan. I would start Clomid or some version of that. There's one that has like less side effects. Letrozole. Take that for a few days, and then we do a trigger shot before doing the thing. I don't know. And that would be to release the egg, and then we would do the insemination. So typically they would like 2 vials or 2 units from a donor, and that's just to like guarantee if those little things weren't moving around in the right way, or it just doesn't look right, that they could use the other one if something went wrong during shipping, whatever. So I kind of put my foot down because we're gonna have to do it a little bit differently. It has been a serious struggle to find a half black donor, and that's really important to us. That's really the only thing we've been able to filter out for. We can't even get more specific, because if we got even more specific than that, we would be ruling out everyone, like literally everyone from, I mean, a half a dozen or more banks. So it's been really challenging, but we found someone that we really like. He only has 1 unit left. So, and it's for IUI. So we're gonna buy that unit, and we're going to try with just 1 vial instead of 2 that they recommend. I think everyone hopes that on the first try it's gonna work. That would take care of, that would answer so many of these other questions for us, but the likelihood is very unlikely that it would work on the first try. And then the other question that it brings up is like future siblings, you know? By deciding to use this 1 vial from this 1 person, we're then deciding already that we would not have fully biologically related siblings. You know, it's not the end of the world. I have a half brother. He's no less of my brother. And we would obviously raise them together. So it doesn't necessarily matter. It just kind of is unfortunate that things aren't working out in like the most idealistic way. We feel very, very drawn to this person, this donor. And so it's important to us to use that 1 unit and give it a try, because I feel like we really wouldn't be able to get out of our heads the fact that we like gave up on this person just because there wasn't multiple units available. So we're gonna give it a shot. Since I'm getting the vaccine, I have to wait. So this would be next cycle. So in a month from now, essentially a little over a month from now, we are gonna try like our first cycle. So that's insane. Again, like the likelihood percentages that I've seen are, you know, 10 to 15% on your first cycle, you know? So it's nerve-wracking. But I'm ready to get to that point and just start trying. And but I'm going to order sperm. I'm gonna order that unit, that 1 unit that's available for that 1 person. So I figured I would record that what I'm doing, and we'll just see how it goes. We signed paperwork for our fertility clinic to store the stuff, and I think that's all I need to do. So who knows? Who knows?
The United States, please press 1. For customers within Canada, please press 2. For international customers outside of the United States and Canada, please press 3. For all other calls, please press 4. To hear this menu again, press 9.
Purchase?
Oh, yay.
you having a good day? This has to be exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting. It's IUI unit.
IUI would be a washed unit.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Either way, my fertility clinic said that that's okay if that's how it comes. So.
Okay.
Is there any other available? Like when I was emailing somebody, they said that there was just one unit.
Let me check on the availability. Hold on. One unwashed.
Okay. Yep.
Available, and then yeah.
That's the one I want then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely is. Scary and exciting at the same time.
Scary good.
Yeah. I just ordered sperm. And I just got miles. Just got miles for ordering sperm. Oh God. Weird. This is weird. I'm getting a little emotional. I think it's because I'm like about to start my cycle right now, but wow. I just ordered sperm. That's insane. I hope I did everything right. I'm like worried that I did something wrong. I don't know, that it's gonna go to the wrong place or something crazy like that. Like, that is crazy. Crazy. Okay. What else do I have to say? Ordered sperm. Sean is calling me. Hello?
Can you please come here and help me figure out this fucking technology? I can't figure it out. I'm trying to fucking read, the Wi-Fi's not working, and I can't figure it out. I, was trying to arrange things, and, I unplugged something, and I freaking plugged it back in, but now it's not working.
Okay, did they pay the internet bill?
Well, it was working earlier today.
Did they pay the internet bill?
Yes. It says that I have Ethernet. What's weird is, okay, so our, Flora, our POS will open, but...
Okay, here's an update to the update. I got my vaccine. Check. We found another donor that just got listed, so there's tons of vials left, so that potentially could be handled. And I think that's it. Subscribe. Thanks, guys. I'll see you soon.